3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so this is Chip and Dale, 2-player, which is a bit different than 1-player. A lot of the strats involve intentional deaths and lag reduction. So they really need to keep track of how many extra lives they have and how many flowers they collect and stars and so on. Dying intentionally in 2 players has a great advantage, as you'll see in a minute, or in a few seconds. As long as the other player is still alive, the player who died will come back with a balloon and can just fly through the stage. The screen is also scrolled by the player who's in front, as long as the other player isn't touching the back of the screen. And boss fights are mostly like 1 player. It's not really any different strats. You could do some tricky things, but none of them save time, as far as I know.
Get stars all around, boys. 1-ups all around.
Here we're gonna see some lag reduction. Just have to kill all the enemies. And if they time their deaths appropriately, they will both have balloons and can just fly through the stage, which they will use in a few places to skip slow parts of the stages.
No beaver Dave.
Could we get a roll call, please?
Feasel, Sinister, Joker, Blechy, Cyghfer.
Take it.
Nice. So you can kill that guy off screen. You can basically always hit him as long as you know where he is. You also don't lose frames. Normally in 1-player you would lose frame when you go down a level, like Cyghfer is doing now all over the place. But because in 1-player you'll duck when you press down. But as long as you're holding something, you can't duck. Or you're holding the other player, you can't duck. So you can just pop through without losing frames.
We have a $30 donation from Trunk Burger. Comment is Sinister1 plus Feasel equals the dream team.
We need some serious time for
Yeah,
this boss.
this is the hardest boss in the game. Let's go.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna be a star from winning this race. Oh, whoops. That's good. All right, we're back in force now. We're good, y'all. We're good, y'all.
So in this stage, they really
Too
abused
wide. We're good.
the screen scrolling. So that 1-player can stay really in front, one can be all the way in the back without losing time.
We have a $50 donation from Rollin' Men 1. Hey guys, Rollin' Men 1 here. Have been enjoying the marathon like I do every year. Keep up the good work, guys. Shoutouts to Mike Uyama and Mr. K for another awesome Contra 3 run.
You need to get the rest of the one up.
Marathon is at gamesdonequick.com, where you can send in your donations to Prevent Cancer Foundation. Hashtag AGDQ 2014 for sharing.
So once you collect 50 flowers, an extra life will appear at the left of the screen. So they need to keep track of that too, to make sure they catch it, because they really need all the extra life they can get.
Do you guys on the plane have like one monthly donation limit for?
We have a $50 donation from Wash Farm. Awesome to see these Forerunners race. Truly a Mount Rushmore of retro speed gaming.
Level 4 costume. Hey, 3 wasn't bad.
I'd like to give shout outs to Prevent Cancer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to the prevention and research against cancer.
Really a close race so far. So here they can move fly past all the fans that would normally push you back and be really slow in single player. As long as they yeah, as long as they time the test correctly. Yes. Nice. So you can hit that boss. Yeah, you can hit the boss 3 times on the first cycle, which they both got. So you can kill him 1 cycle earlier than normal.
You guys look at the schedule, you'll know that Ninja Block is coming up next, and you better get that money in if you want to see some sword-only Ninja Gaiden 2. We also have a donation incentive to save or kill Aura in Mark of the Ninja.
Really nice.
Get ready for time.
Time. Time.
9:57. Time.
10:09.
Good race.
All right, so let me just talk about this a little bit. First, I'm just going to give you guys a quick history lesson on how this came about. So, some of you may know that at one point in time, Cyghfer had retired from speedrunning very briefly, and it was a very sad time for the speedrunning community because everybody loves Cyghfer, and you know, he and Blechy had actually worked on this game like maybe a year and a half ago or something. It was a while ago. I remember watching them kind of practice and dick around on stream, but they never ended up doing like full runs or attempts or anything like that. So it kind of went by the wayside. So fast forward to Summer Games Done Quick 2013. I'm there. I see Feasel and we're talking, and I was like, you know, hey, have you run Rescue Rangers in a marathon? He's like, yeah, I've done it. And I was like, well, what about a 2-player run? You know, what do you think about that? And Feasel was like, yeah, 2-player run, that sounds good. So, you know, we're kind of thinking about this, and I'm asking him, you know, is it an easy game? Is it tough? What's it going to be? And he's like, it's a pretty straightforward game. I think that we could pull it off. The 2-player strats would definitely allow for some faster movement and some cool tricks. So it's hype, man. Let's do it. So basically, we agreed that we were going to try to do this for AGDQ. Pretty much at the end of SGDQ, like right before I left, is when we discussed it and finalized it. And you know, we were hyped, man. We were like, all right, awesome. So fast forward a little bit more, and we get to Cyghfer had unretired. He came out of his retirement, and it came time for the games topic. And as you know, in the games topic, you propose your games that you want to play in the marathon, and then Mike takes a look at all of the games that are proposed, and he goes ahead and picks which ones make it, which ones don't. He makes a schedule, and there you go. So I think it was on the very first page of the games topic, Cyghfer or Blechy, I can't remember which one. I think it was Cyghfer posts co-op Rescue Rangers, Cyghfer and Blechy. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I thought that we had this in the bag. So, you know, Feasel and I, we weren't going to just back down that easily, but it was a little bit like, man, you know, now we have to go against these guys, dude. This is so tough now. And but, you know, we stuck to our ground, and we offered the game as well. So we said we'd like to race them since they had posted first. And you know, the first thing that we kind of talked about is if Cyghfer and Blechy are going to do it, you know, Cyghfer is very well known for his aggressive marathon strats. He's not somebody that comes up with safe strats for a marathon. All right? He goes all out. And you got to respect him for it, because you know what? When he does it, a lot of times it works, and he just gets some crazy ass runs in marathons. But, you know, sometimes things can go awry as well. You know, if you're doing really, really aggressive, difficult strats, you're inevitably going to mess up on some of them. So our plan was kind of that we were going to try to do a bit of a more consistent and safe, conservative route, counting on them to do the much more aggressive, crazy route, and hoping that our conservative, consistent route would be able to give us a good chance of winning. That was our original strategy. And Feasel and I, you know, we had discussed this quite a bit, and Feasel's like, okay, I'm going to come up with the route. I'm going to work this out. And he went and he made that Lua script that I mentioned yesterday. For those of you that maybe weren't here yesterday, I'll just kind of briefly go over it. When you practice on emulator, there are these things called Lua scripts, which basically kind of manipulate certain things in the emulator ROM that you're playing. And what he did is he set it up so that the Lua script would input the movements for the other player. So I was playing as Chip, so the Lua script would put in the inputs for Dale, so it was as if I was playing with Feasel, even though he wasn't there. I would just be playing by myself, practicing, and I'd have player 2. So I was practicing the 2-player, and he was practicing the 2-player, and we both, we were able to get our parts down, and we were confident, we were ready to go. Meanwhile, I knew that Cyghfer was doing a lot of games that were tough. He spent a lot of time on Mega Man 2. He had gotten the world record at one point, and he was spending a lot of time on Bucky O'Hare, and I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe they're neglecting Chippendales a little bit. I could not have been more wrong. I really couldn't have been more wrong. Him and Blechy were definitely spending a good chunk of time on Rescue Rangers, and it ended up showing, and, just again, like I said yesterday, I ended up finding out very shortly before the marathon, and I told Blechy that, hey, please have mercy on us because our PB is 10:05 and your guys' PB is 9:41. Please help us. We just want to have a close race, and we want it to be entertaining for the viewers. So thankfully they were open to that, and they did share strategies with us, and we were able to pick up some of the strategies, and you're going to see them in the run because we pretty much hit everything that we were trying to do in our side of the run. So, pump up your volume then, dude. I feel like I'm talking pretty loud here, and my mic is there. Also, nobody else is complaining about quiet. So, all right. Anyways, basically the run that we got at the marathon itself in practice, the best run we got was 9:50, and we were pretty damn happy with that. And we knew that we had a slim chance of maybe winning the race, but we also knew that we were probably going to get our asses kicked because Cyghfer and Blechy were just god gaming at this point. Like, people were watching both of us play, and some people were just like, you guys don't stand a chance. Because they would walk over, they'd watch Cyghfer and Blechy practicing in one corner, and then they'd walk back over and watch us practicing, and they would just shake their heads like, oh. Poor Feasel and Sinister, poor guys, they are going to get owned. So, by the time the race rolled around, we were ready to go. Feasel and I were feeling confident. We had practiced that morning. We had gotten the 9:50 the night before. We weren't thinking about winning. We were just thinking about, let's put on a good show. So, let's get it started. I'm just going to start replaying the video. I'm going to pause it at various intervals and kind of just commentate on what's going on, what's happening. And if you guys have questions, please ask the questions, because I'm not going to wait until the end of the run. I'm just going to answer questions on the fly. And I'll pause the video, and when I pause it, just go ahead and ask. So here we go. Feasel and I are on the left. This is me and Fees. This is Cyghfer and Blechy. So notice right away, 9:59.99. Hell yeah. Right away, we both go for the grab. And one other thing, Feasel is Dale, as is Cyghfer, and Blechy and I are both Chip. And Dale has the majority of the responsibility because he actually spawns in front. So normally he's going to be taking the lead. So the grab in a lot of situations is just simply to reduce lag. It's one less sprite. When you've grabbed your partner, then you guys count as one sprite. So there's not a lot of lag. So we're both pretty much just starting out like normal here. There's nothing special happening. Right here though, watch Cypher's side of the screen. Look at that climb, dude. Okay, I'm sorry. I misspoke. This is all backwards. Cyghfer and Blechy are on the left. Sorry, this is Cyghfer and Blechy. This is me and Feasel. I'm very, very sorry. I misspoke there. And hey, there's Blechy right now. What's up, man? So let me back that up. Watch the left-hand side of the screen. I want you guys to just watch the climb here. Oh, crap. I went back too far. Darn it. Okay, here we go. All right, so watch the left side. Watch how clean Cyghfer gets up there. Look at that, dude. Look at that. Oh, my God. It's like his feet don't even touch the ground. And there's another climb section here as well. And remember, the flowers are very important. Here's the second climb section. Now he's going to take an intentional death there. When you die, there's a balloon, and you see Blechy take a couple damage boosts there. So they're already gaining time on us in the first stage. And we didn't want to try the damage boosting strats. We were just like, it's not worth it. We're going to just stick with what we got. So they already have like a 2-second lead on us in the first stage, just from like slightly better strats and just overall better execution. But we're not too far behind, you can see that. And the thing that's important to note here is how many flowers we get. Like, the flower route is just of paramount importance because you have to spawn 1-ups, and it's not like Mario Brothers. Yeah, so you can see we're about 2 seconds behind. It's not like Mario Brothers. In this game, when you get 50 flowers, which is the required amount for a 1-up, what happens is a star is going to spawn like over here on this far left side of the screen, and it's going to slowly float up and down all the way to the right hand side of the screen. So what you need to do is you need to set it up to where you spawn the 1-ups at a very specific time where one player is in the trail position and they're way at the back of the screen, and then that way they collect them without you having to slow down. Alright, so stage 2. Now notice what they do in the bonus stage. They don't get any flowers. I'm going to get some flowers on our side. So on the right side you see me picking up flowers because we're actually going to spawn one additional 1-up that they don't spawn. Now this is one of the big changes in the route that we did. At first, in this next screen, we were not double ballooning, and I'm going to explain why. So right now, you'll see Cyghfer and Blechy. They're going to get to the faucets first. They both die. They set it up. They're double ballooning. So when you're double ballooning, both players are invincible, and you're just cruising through the screen, and you're minimizing lag. Now, here's the thing. In the bonus stages, the top middle box is normally a 1-up. I've heard the number 92.5% of the time thrown around. Nobody, I don't know if that's verified or not, but it's frequently a 1-up. Here's the thing though. Dale has already died twice by this point. You start with 3 lives. You haven't gotten any 1-ups if you missed one in the first bonus stage, which is very possible. So you could be on 0 lives right now, which is dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. So originally Feasel and I had decided to cut this out and to not double balloon during this part, but it saves a lot of time. So we had to end up re-implementing it, and you know, thank goodness we did, because we would be losing like probably 3 seconds in this stage, and we're already behind. So we re-implemented this strat, just basically mimicking, and you can see that they come out first, they get to the door, we're still about 2 seconds behind. Still from stage 1, so we're pretty much on par in the second stage. It's still, you know, nobody's gaining or losing too much time. Now, Cyghfer and Blechy are going to do some craziness here because they're not doing a carry strat, so they're killing some enemies, and they're getting just a little bit of time on us because of that. So they probably gained another half to full second, and their boss fight is really good. We both get the same luck. This boss that comes out, it's this little frickin' spaceship, right? And the spaceship can come out all the way up here. It could come out like up here, or it can come out like here, here, or here. So if it comes out in these 3 bottom tiles, that's what you want, because then you can jump up and throw the ball, and it's actually going to hit twice as it goes across the screen. Versus if it comes out at the top, then it's only going to hit once. So Cyghfer and Blechy are going to get a bad pattern, and watch how they handle it. So it comes out at the top of the screen. They toss the ball and then do an off-screen hit. So see, the spaceship wasn't even on the screen there, but they still killed the enemy because they knew that it was the 5th and final hit, and you can just throw the ball and get an off-screen hit sometimes. And that's what they did. So we also get a bad pattern here as well, and Feasel takes down the boss. Okay, so this next stage is where there's going to be a big variation. So once we go into D, you're going to see a carry. Now, Blechy is carrying here on this side. All right, we're going to do something a little bit different. He's going to take a couple of damage boosts here, and that's how they're going to get to the end of the screen very quickly. Now on our side, Feasel and I, we're not going to do that. We're going to actually lag the game and kill some of these Joker boxes, Jack in the Boxes, and it's going to slow us down. So you're going to see a big disparity here. So watch Cyghfer and Blechy. They're already in the lead. They're not going to lag the game at all. They're going to just take damage boost, and they missed the second damage boost. But they probably still gain time over us, even with just doing the first damage boost. And what that's going to do is going to set up something in the other screen. So Feasel and I, you can see, we didn't do any damage boost, and so we both still have full health. So now, on this screen, we are going to damage boost, and they're not going to. And this is where things get dangerous, actually. So watch Cyghfer and Blechy. See these on-off switches? They're going to manipulate these so they can avoid the balls altogether. So it's bam, turn that one off. keep the screen apart, off again. Cypher gets that health. He does a regrab, and they boost through the Jack in the Box. Whereas watch what Feasel's about to do. Feasel's over here. He sweat this damage boost so much, man. He would get this damage boost every time, but if you miss it and you fall down this pit, you both die. It's pretty much the race is over. Like, race is done. Forget it. It's done. So it was a lot of pressure on Feasel. Of course he hits the damage boost like a champ, and then he hits this damage boost. So notice the one difference though. Cyghfer and Blechy, you can see that they have more hearts. Feasel is stuck on this one heart here, so he's kind of at risk, and we really couldn't find a way to fix this in time. We just kind of had to roll with it. So Cypher gets the really good throw. They move up pretty quickly. Feasel and I struggle a little bit there. We don't get the throw. And you're going to want to watch Cypher and Blechy's side of the screen because they're going to do this crazy, crazy shit on the boss right now. So watch this. Grab the player, jump into the boss, and holy crap, there's diagonal shit going on. Wow, what's happening with these balls? They're going diagonally, and then all of a sudden, there's a star. There's a 1-up in the middle of the screen. But then somehow they both die, so Feasel and I end up pulling ahead right there. So Feasel and I are in the lead right now, and at the time, I was wondering what happened. Because I promised myself, I was like, I'm not going to look at their screen, I'm not going to look at their screen, I'm just going to focus on what we're doing, I'm not going to look at their screen. But when Cypher was like, it's fucking serious time, this boss is the hardest boss in the game, and then like crazy shit's going on, I had to sneak a peek. And all I saw was that they both died. So at this point we have the lead, and we're going into one of the most critical stages in the entire run. Stage F. It's really difficult, and we had to try to do this strat that Cypher and Blechy came up with that allows you to navigate through the stage really, really quickly. So in this stage, there's these falling cannonballs. And normally what you do to make your way through the stage is you wait for the cannonball to fall past you, and then you go. And then there's another one, so you wait for that cannonball to fall, and then you go. And you repeat that about 5 times, okay? But that's really, really fucking slow. You don't want to be that slow, do you? No, of course not. So what you have to do is you have to set it up so that you push. Dale is going to be in the lead. Dale's going to run all the way to the right. Chip has to push Dale just enough to push him into the ball, and then he has to retreat all the way back to the left. And the reason for doing this is you're going to see. Let me set this up. You're going to see on our side. Okay, bam, there's the damage boost. So sorry, because of the interlacing or whatever, you can't see, but Chip is right here. Chip is right about here. He's getting boosted to right here. Now the next set of cannonballs is off screen. It's over here, and the reason that Chip has to run all the way back over is because you don't want to spawn this cannonball. If you spawn this cannonball, it's all over. So watch what happens now. So now you can see, okay, bam, look at that. He got underneath the cannonball. By separating the players out as far as you possibly can, you get underneath the cannonball, and now Dale's going to be able to run and get all the way through the stage without stopping. So you never have to stop. This saves about like 4 seconds or something over like a normal route. So it's a pretty huge difference. And the thing for Chip is that he has to move really, really quickly to keep up, because otherwise you can just fall into one of these pits if you get like scrolled off, too fast. So really tight, really tight. Getting through. We're through. Bam. Okay, so we hit the strat, dude. At this point, I was so fucking happy, man, because I knew that no matter what happened in the run, I knew we were going to have like a decent run, because up to that point, like, things had not gone badly. And I'm going to get 2 1-ups in this stage. You're going to have to watch closely to notice. But there's some flowers here, and there's going to be some flowers out ahead. So if you watch me, I'm in the trail position. You're going to see 1-up really quickly. And those star 1-ups, like I said, you have to manipulate those by getting 50 flowers. So we're both going to get 50 flowers at about the same time. And like I said, I collect those 2 1-ups. Now watch over here what happens with Cypher and Blechy. So they end up not getting it. So see how the cannonballs are in front? So they have to wait now. So they have to wait for each cannonball. Meanwhile, there's my first 1-up right there. You can see it. Alright, I'll try to take it easy on the BAMs. So I got my first 1-up, and I'm in that trail position. Feasel's all the way at the front of the screen, so I'm going to get another one up. Ready? Set. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh well, damn. I'm supposed to get a second one up there. Meanwhile, Cyghfer and Blechy had to lose a lot of time because of waiting there, so we actually gained. We gained even more. We were in a kind of a big lead right now. So this part right here, I'm going to take an intentional death so that I can balloon, and then you're going to climb this area very fast. And because Feasel had enough lives, we had 2 deaths in this screen. We had a plan of either getting 2 deaths or 1 death, depending. So check it out. I'm going to boost him up there, and then I die. So I start ballooning, and he scrolled the screen about halfway up. And then he's going to die right now so that I can just scroll the rest of the screen up. GG. And then Cyghfer and Blechy struggle a little bit in this screen. I'm not sure exactly what happened for them, but things went a little badly for them here. Sorry, Blechy, I'm sorry. Alright, Casino is like the easiest stage. There's not even anything to talk about, really. The main thing is just getting enough flowers, but you don't want to be too greedy. So he's like intentionally missing some of those flowers up there on your right hand side. And then there's a cool little zip that happens here. Basically, Feasel's gonna throw me into the bombs, and I'm gonna zip into the door. So get ready on the right hand side of the screen. You're gonna see the cool zip. So here it comes, throw, zipped into the door. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trail him because I am gonna pick up a 1-up here. I got hit there, that was not intentional. That scared me because I'm way at the back of the screen now. It's not a good place to be in this screen. You really don't want to be that far back. But I drop down, I get my 1-up, we're good to go. Feasel gets into the boss, he's able to manipulate his position. And it's all good. So I think at this point we have maybe about a 20-second lead. And Feasel's been getting 1-ups in these stages. So now I'm going to get greedy as shit with the flowers because I'm going to spawn one final 1-up. I'm just getting all flowers in the bonus stages. Alright, next up is what Feasel and I call Crab Sewer. Crab Sewer is a stage where Feasel and I are being a little more conservative. Cyghfer and Blechy, what did I say before the run? They don't fuck with conservative, dude. They just go with the cutting edge strats, man. So you can see Feasel's killing some of these crabs. If you watch Cyghfer and Blechy's side of it, they're not killing shit. So I'm gonna delay as long as I can before I suicide so that I can ride this balloon pretty much all the way to the end. Feasel has a really nice climb here. He does a great job of getting up there. He doesn't get hit by that stupid ass crab. So look at me, I get all the way to the end of the screen and right into the door. I didn't have to stop at all. Meanwhile, Cyghfer and Blechy are making ground because see, they didn't kill any of those crabs there. And look at Cypher's climb, dude. Oh my god, dude. His climb is just so absurd. I can't even, like, watch it. It's freaking Craigasm. So Cyghfer has a great climb. They gain time in this stage for sure. No question. They're doing a bit of a different flower route than we are at this point. Alright, so here's another strat that we picked up. Going into I. Going into I, there's 2 ways that you can double balloon here, and we were doing it in a slower way. Cyghfer and Blechy were doing the Taz route, and we had to pick this up because it was like, we can't be losing time on shit like this. So you're going to see the Taz ballooning route, and what it does is it turns me around. It turns Chip around so that I get damage boosted the correct direction into the door at the end of the screen. So in order to set it up, I got to take some damage here. I'm getting hit there. I'm going to take a damage boost to get to the other side of this dude, and then I'm going to die right there. But I'm facing the correct direction now. Hey, what's up, Ice Plug? So now you're going to see, when I come out of my balloon, and Feasel had to come out early because some bad things happened. Oh, wow, okay, so I actually, well, I don't want to rewind it, but I screwed up, and Feasel had to come out early, but it didn't go well. So we actually lost some time there, and luckily I figured this out, that the screen kind of gets locked if you get that boost and Feasel's too far behind because of the stupid fans in this stage, but I figured out that if you boost again, you get into the door. So I just got hit twice on purpose to die, and then Feasel's going to do the quick kill here, as I'm just ducking for my life, trying not to get hit. So again, I think Cyghfer and Blechy picked up some time here. and Cypher's turn for the quick kill. So at this point, I actually, before this stage, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, if you're paying attention to the right side on our screen, I went for a life check. Because I didn't want to do this in the run, but I knew that we were far enough ahead that it was important that I do it. Because like I said, we're going to manipulate one more 1-up in this stage, and we need to have our lives sorted out in case that we somehow have a debacle in this stage. But Feasel and I are taking a super conservative route. So try to watch both screens. Cyghfer and Blechy are going to gain a big chunk of time on us. I'd recommend watching their screen more than ours. Feasel and I are just going to double balloon twice, which is super safe and reliable, but is slower. And Cyghfer and Blechy are just going to do these crazy strats that are like ridiculously fast. So this is a good final stage. They're going to be catching up, but we do have a pretty big lead at this point in time. And we are going to manipulate that last 1-up as well, which causes some lag. But like I said, because we were ahead, I was like, it's fine to do the lag. Let's just get the 1-up just in case things go really badly. Like in case Fat Cat just trolls the shit out of us. So here it comes. I manipulate that last 1-up. Feasel picks it up, and we're going to double balloon. So we're just double ballooning. Don't watch this. Watch Cyghfer and Blechy's side. Watch the left side. They're going to take that top route. That basically minimizes lag. You can't completely get rid of lag in this area. Now watch what they do here. This is crazy. Like, they just do the axes like hard fucking core, dude. They're like, we don't need to double balloon. What's double ballooning? Let's just do the axes like madmen, and then you can balloon so that you can cut this corner up here and we can reduce all the lag. How about that? So there's no lag for them there. They cut the corner, and then Cypher has to be so fast right here. If Cypher's like not fast enough, then he won't get through there. And meanwhile, Blechy's like all the way toward the end there, and Feasel and I are finishing off. But look how much freaking time they gained on us in just that stage alone. That's one of their best stages. So I think I like screamed out like really loud when we won, which was a little bit inappropriate, but I was just happy that we got sub 10. Sub 10 is like a really good run, and they ended up getting a 10:09. And if you go back and look at it, I believe that it's 15 seconds is the time that they lost on the stage 3 boss when they messed around. So if they had actually not done that, they would have gotten a 9:54. And if we had not done the life check and the lag strat to get that last 1-up, we would have gotten a 9:55. So they would have beaten us by 1 second, I think. But yeah, that was a hell of a race. And I mean, I'm really glad that that it went well for Feasel and I, because we were pretty worried that we wouldn't be able to pick up these strats in time and then it would just be a total train wreck. And it didn't turn out that way. It turned out pretty good. And, I can't wait to see Cyghfer and Blechy continue to play this game, because they are going to continue with it, unlike Feasel and I. 15 seconds on stage 4 total. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. So 30 seconds, yeah. So without that, that's like a 10:39, which is just ridiculous. So yeah, but that just shows like how good their runs can be. And like I said, you guys should definitely watch them when they start running this game again.